I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
All right. Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome up to the live stream. The market is getting pretty insane out there today. SPY is loving the support down here. SPY loves 642, 642.50, 643. This is a pretty big range. I've really been eyeing up like 642.80 to 643 is a solid support recently, and this area looks pretty important here for the market. Lots of touches and bounces here the past few trading days. SPY trying to hold its ground here, get back above it. We can see last week, SPY is actually rejected here. Well, I shouldn't say rejected, but bounced multiple times right here at this key support. At least very close to it. We can see this morning in pre-market, it actually got under it slightly. There is another big one. Right at 641.50. That is the previous all-time high on the SPY. So that's actually where the wick extends down, where I'm going to be circling right now. That's 641.50. So these are some very crucial levels to watch here at open. So far, we're seeing SPY actually make a slight bounce back up, which is, I guess, good for the bulls so far today. If you're bullish, it is a big support. What's up, Joe Papa, Jason, Xavier, Jake, GC, Juan, Autumn, and Rick? Good morning, good morning. Haha, GC. It's the gold futures out there. Jason says, good morning, Team Tom. Let's go. Ryan said, Yankee up, baby. Good morning. Don't get me started, Ryan. Yeah, the Cardinals are under 500 now. How nice. Man. Get this. My daughter only lasted 4 hours at the game. Or sorry, 4 hours. 4 innings. Yeah, forget the playoffs, for real. What's up, Jason? Yeah, Autumn, it was like 95 degrees and she was upset. She's probably like, Dad, these guys stink. That's perfect. Yep. That's exactly how it went. Man, Intel selling off this morning. Look at that massive pullback. That's not good. Giving back the gains from Lip Bhutan meeting Trump. It's not the best thing to see. Is there any news fueling this one? I'm going to be checking here. Don't see anything too crazy right now. Looking at the watch list today. Run is up 12%. They were up like 4% in pre-market when I looked at them. They must have exploded a lot more here. Oh, yeah, they did. RUN is running. Sunrun. Nice jump again. Tesla, 333, 334 resistance. Trying to jump those well. Not bad. Tilray up 4%. Now that's what I want to see. I'm kidding. Tilray is actually at $1 a share. They're sitting at 107 right now, trying to bounce up. Man, these solar stocks today. I like the solar game. Seems pretty nice so far. Open Door, 12%. Everyone's looking at TerraWolf lately. WULF. What was it? They had a deal with Google, right? Alphabet. Yeah, TerraWolf, explosive. Yep, Google lifted their stake. They agreed to provide a $1.4 billion backstop to support a data center project expansion. Damn. Let's see how BMNR is looking here. Pulling back a little bit down to 54. I like this stock as a growth stock. I've been waiting for it to start to bounce. It bounced a couple weeks ago. Last week, unfortunately, slowed down. In a pretty good fashion, I'll say even. Slowed down quite a bit. Checking in on something. The next day that the market is closed is Labor Day, Monday, September 1st. Labor Day, Monday, September 1st. I thought it was coming up. How's Meta on the book map, my view says? Meta! Ooh. They're pulling back quite a bit on the daily, aren't they? Dang. Look at Meta from open today, guys. Straight to the downside. That is some massive red candles coming in. It's down quite a bit. 3.2%. That's pretty good. Might even be close to leading the watch list. It is pretty close. Yeah, there is, Hugo. Trump's going to be meeting with Zelensky today. That'll be a fun meeting. Maybe not literally fun, but it might be getting some stocks moving. Geopolitical uncertainty will repeat like last Friday. Stock market's gonna fluctuate, Hugo said. It might. It might. My view says Meta on the book map. Let's go look at it. Let's see. David said, can you please explain the book map and what it says? Sure thing, David. It's pretty simple. It's just showing you buy orders and sell orders that are currently hitting the market. It's that simple. Anything underneath the current price, buy orders. Anything over the current price, sell orders. And it'll tell you on the right side, if you look at the COB, the current order book, it'll tell you exactly how many shares are at each level. Now, SVP, it's just showing you how many shares have been there since you've turned it on. So, it can be a bit weird. I would just look at COB. Just look at COB. That's how much shares are there. So, it's 780 right now. There's like 16,244 shares. At 770 right here, there's 4,750. It just actually changed to 5,092. And I've even had traders test this where they'll find some random stock that has like a level with nothing stacked up at it, and then they'll set an order and they'll be like, Tom, is that there? and I'll go find it, and I'll send it to them. I'll be like, was it 1,600 shares? And they'll be like, yep. And it'll be, it's always funny, you know, but it's not as difficult as it looks. Now, there's a lot more that you can start getting into, like footprints and things of that nature, but nonetheless, right now, this is what it shows. And then it does show these volume dots here, which is essentially showing how much volume is getting filled at that moment. So, like, it'll pop up with these balls whenever fills occur. And, of course, the larger the fill, the larger the ball. So, like, this one has 1,500 volume, essentially, and the small one after it has 100, so... If you start to see a bunch of buying go crazy, you'll notice that the balls go from being like medium to small just to huge if something crazy starts going on, or there's a big level touched or something. But it essentially has helped you look for support and resistance. Good morning, Tashana. People going back to MySpace, Jake said. On Meta falling. That's funny. Tesla pull back. A little bit at 333, 333.50. Metas. People are asking for news. I'm not seeing any. Hopefully it doesn't repeat like last Friday, Hugo. I'm not sure that I want to necessarily trade it that way. I can't. Does Bookmap come with a what? Sorry, Rick. I don't even know what that says. I don't even know what to buy now. Hugo said I bought SPY puts. Now it's going to rise again. You got to be careful. This is a very, very large support here on SPY. I like looking at SPY down, but I want to make this area break. I'm waiting for it to kind of turn over a bit more. That kind of would be what would be awesome or ideal, so to say. This is a pretty good move. Yeah, SPY's bouncing pretty good here now that you mentioned it. It held support extremely well. I mean, these are 3 really good 1-minute candles. Wow. SPY has been pretty overwhelmingly positive lately. I know that there's been a little bit of shakiness, but it's been pretty positive. Rick says, does Bookmap come with basic data and you can upgrade, or does it start with no data? Yeah, oh yeah, no problem, Rick. Yeah, it actually comes with no data at first. It comes with no data. You actually have to buy a data package on there called DXFeed. They are starting to come out with their own data packages too, but they're right around the same price. I use DXFeed myself, but I think it's still worth it nonetheless. There's 2 packages for DXFeed. There's a $60 one, and then there's a $120 one. And if you want to see all the same data, you should get the $120 one, but you don't really need it. No problem. I'm just glad that that's what it was, Rick. I had no idea. Man, new high of the day, SPY. 643.70 coming into play here. This is looking huge. Rick, do you happen to use Thinkorswim? It's called DX Feed. Feed. Sorry. I'll send you a link actually here. So after you sign up, you'll need to go here. What a good jump by the SPY. Keep it going. Let's go check on the Mag 7. Apple looking great this morning. Looks just like the SPY's setup. Hell yeah. Tesla pretty solid too. I gotta say Amazon and Meta look kind of bad, but at least the others look okay. No problem, Rick. I got you. Apple right at that high of the day. Look at them breaking out there. Wow, following the SPY very well. This is what we want to see. Jake said, Tom, did you guys see high volume on Intel before the news broke last week? There's a comment on unusual whales. I did not notice that, but I wasn't necessarily looking. Let's turn on the volume. There probably was some crazy volume on some call options is probably what you're more of looking at, right? That's usually what people point to or look at. Palantir rejected? Oh, Jake, the links don't work for some reason on YouTube. They don't allow links. You'll have to throw it in the Discord. Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. My computer makes weird sounds with my mouse. That means it's time to restart Chrome. You guys remember that from last week, I'm sure. Demir's really sad, too. My stop loss was too tight. I could have caught that nice short. It's on Stock Labs, Jake said. Stock Labs. Let me go see that. About Intel? Let's see. Speaking of Intel, they are pulling back today. Don't forget, guys. But it looks like they are recovering, though, out of nowhere. Yeah, here, I got it. Good call on the Stock Labs. They said someone knew about the Intel possible government expansion. Just before the news broke, there were huge call volumes and premiums, with more calls trading at the ask than bid. Intel had several days in a row of consistent bullish flows, and these traders likely made millions. Damn. Let's go back to Intel's chart. Where'd it go? There it is. Thursday, the 13th. Man, that is pretty insane. How much that those call premiums were rising there ahead of this. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it definitely begs the thought of, okay, is that something that they could have done? It definitely could be. Could be. Get you thinking for sure. Someone probably did know. After all, it's Lit Bhutan with ties to the Chinese government. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Check out Tessie here, running up into resistance, 333. Yeah, it's tough, Jake. I know it's weird, you know, like if you analyze stocks that have like good volume like that, you'll find so many out there, and you know, every once in a while they'll have a nice pop like this, and it seems like somebody new for sure. Other times, though, you'll see it and the stock will do nothing, and you'll be like, what the hell? Why? So just don't think that every time that happens, something's going to do that. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't want you to go like all into the next trade you find with good volume and be like, hey, somebody knows. But they could. Demir said I was really sad too. My stop loss was too tight. I could have caught that nice short. You're talking about Palantir, probably. Palantir with a nice drop. SPY just dropped. The politics will crush everything, Hugo says. I am skeptical that SPY does end up breaking this support as the week goes. I am skeptical of it. Not saying it's going to happen exactly today or right now, but once it does start breaking through here, it's going to get fun next few trading days. If it breaks through. If it doesn't break through, we better start recovering up better. Because I want some fun action up at least then. But I would love a nice move down here. I think it's about time. The market's a little overextended. But the market's been very resilient, so I'm not going to necessarily front run it until we see some good action. Put an alert here. Wonder if we'll hit that today. How do you guys feel about Jackson Hole this week? That's a pretty big event. I know a lot of you don't really even know what it is. It's where like a lot of economists, world leaders, central bank leaders, they get together and they talk about monetary policy. 2022, Powell really hurt the market at that. Hurt it in a pretty serious way. Ended up falling down for weeks following that, as he said that policy would have to get tight. Terra Wolf, though, Mr. Wu says. 12% today. WULF. Definitely on fire. A lot of action with Google News recently. Google lifted their stake in Terra Wolf, added another... oh, no, sorry. They added 10%, but... It says Google's total backstop is now $3.2 billion, which is pretty good. Yeah. Wolf was up by over 50% last week, too. Tashana said, I've been telling you guys about Wolf. Sheesh, Wolf. Up over $10 right now. It's pretty insane when you look at the daily chart, how much it's jumped up. It's funny when you zoom out how much it's actually down. But when Wolf moves, it moves. That is a hot stock here. Hot run overall. Sun run. Another hot one in the short term that I had to look back in on today. They're trying to straddle the $15 support. Holding it pretty well so far, but I'm skeptical off of this movement this morning. I don't know. I'm sure some people are looking to buy up the dip, though. Lulu with a nice move, Mr. Wu says. Lululemon. You guys know how I feel about this one. It's holding $200 today, though. It pops back above 200 and held over there nicely. Yeah, you're not kidding. Really good move today. Lulu's getting a little bit overextended to the downside. Wonder if we start to see a little dip buying going on here. I think it's definitely possible. Do you guys like Terra Wolf out there? How many of you like Wolf? W-U-L-F? I like the short-term action on it. Of course, it's popping up with Google's news, but I don't know. Buying it for the long term right now seems a bit risky for where it's at and how much it's just jumped. You know, just started to move.
Into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you.
Did Joby break support, Xavier said. Joby. Yeah, I would call that a pretty good support break today. It was straddling 1650 at open. It just blasted right down and through. Man, that sucks. There's one final saving grace for Joby. It has another recent low here around 1550. If we go to like the hourly, we can see it's touched 1550 multiple times. So there's a couple supports on Joby, you know. So it did break one support today at 1650, but now it's at the next support of 1550, or it's essentially there. I guess Joby's just in a range right now where there's been a lot of up and downs, as we can see. Very big channel. I'm circling the top end of the channel right now. And then the lower end of the channel's down here. 1550 is 1650. Almost seems like a head and shoulders styled pattern. You know, we got our head here, we got our shoulders. I'm not saying it's going to sell off like this, but it definitely worries me on this current setup. I wouldn't be surprised if it dropped lower. Maybe back down to 14 or something like that. Pretty weird setup overall in my book. Mr. Boo said, hell yeah, it's been holding. I got in at 508. Whoa. On Wolf, you're up like 100% right now. There we go. That's awesome. Little 100%er on TerraWolf for you. That's nice. Demir made a quick profit shorting Powell here, they said. Now they're done. Awesome. There you go, Demir. That's what we want to do. Jake said, sold a covered call on Costco. 10 seconds later, jumps like $3. $10 later, jump like $3 on Costco. Where'd you sell it? Like right at the money? Hopefully you sold it like around like $9.90 or $1,000. Oh yeah. It's probably a good thing the option didn't do it either though. Oh, 1,005? Okay, good. Good thing it's up there. I like that. That's a lot better. I was praying you weren't going to say you did like 980 or 975 or something. Pretty good. How do you like your Google shares? Have you been holding those for a while, Jake? Or sorry, Costco. OSCR. Yeah, Mr. Wu, up about 4.7%. That's a solid one today. Very solid price action. Good break above the pre-market highs and the highs from Friday, which was perfect resistance. Overall, that's beautiful. That is a beauty.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to
Costs up 517% since 2017. That's insane. You've had it for like 7 years. Wow, that's a long time. I would bet that 90% of people in here haven't even been trading for 7 years. That's insane. Awesome stuff. Good old Costco. Just recently started selling covered calls on it for some nice dinner money. There we go. I think it's at a good spot to do that. As long as it doesn't just rip, of course, but hey, if you guys are just now joining up today, destroy that like button. Let's go. 13 likes. Let's up it a little bit.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Amazon bounce. Let's go, Xavier said. Is it starting to come back? Okay. I noticed that it was one of the weaker stocks this morning. In the Mag 7, I should say. Maybe not in the S&P as a whole, but if we look at the Mag 7 charts here, it's definitely one of the redder ones with Microsoft up there. Meta's really bad this morning. The rest were pretty decent, though. Look at Tesla. Tesla's actually making an attempt to go towards the high of the day. Third test of the high of the day. Is it going to start to break through? What's up, J-Bass? Good morning, good morning. Welcome up. Tesla, new high of the day has been achieved. 334. Touching. Wow, good little break there at the high of the day. All right. It's touching a trend line now. Let's zoom out on like a 5 minutes, see what kind of trend line. Oh, we're looking at this overhead wedge. That's right. Contending with that. Pretty big level. Hopefully you can get through. It's rejecting back down so far. Ooh, stiff rejection. We got too excited as it started breaking out. Wow, volatile candle though. That was a quick one. Yeah, I know, Ryan. You can't at people on here on mobile. It is weird. It doesn't work. UNH holding up $5, Jake said. UNH, United Health. Like that jump this morning, up 1.7%. Let's eye up our watch list here. Nano nuclear energy is leading the way down 9% today. BMNR in second at 7%, with MP materials at around 6% to the downside from open today. Those are the top 3 losers on my watch list. There's a couple that are close, like Joby, Big Bear AI, Cooler, Navitas, D-Wave Quantum. They're all down today. Open Door, getting it done again. Another 20% move. This stock is wild. 20% runner, though. $3.90 at the high of the day. Nice run by them. Second on the watch list today, WULF. Look at this one pointing up. It actually isn't setting up too bad even right now for a possible intraday move. Heck yeah. This looks pretty perfect by TerraWolf. WULF. Yeah, I like to see it holding here. Overhead resistance around 1025, 1030. Amazon bounce, Xavier said earlier. Still watching it. Kind of consolidating now over the past 7 to 8 1-minute candles, but I do like the way it's consolidating for a possible rip. Some point here. Almost seems like a small bear flag. Sorry, bull flag. Misspoke. I wonder what Powell will say today. I can't wait till 11 PST. Autumn meant Trump. Is that going to be following the Ukraine meeting? APLD, 7.3%. Applied Digital. They're actually holding their lower support, coming up really well so far on this dip buy opportunity. Look at how straight up this stock's been the past 3 candles. APLD, maybe a little opportunity here today. Solar stocks still getting it done. FSLR, nice. Sunrun straddling support still. Trying to get a little pop going again. Sorry about that. I had to grab a quick drink of water. Aora Cannabis here, 2.5%. How about Tilray, TLRY? Moving up 11.17%. Not good to see. The trade desk, TTD, 2.88%. Nice jump there, up to $54. That's pretty solid. Man, Applied Digital really ripped here. Great recovery. Let's go, Applied. Fubo. Up almost 2% today, nothing too crazy. You know, DraftKings is moving pretty well, though. I saw 3% by them. Pretty straight up from open, too. Look at the recovery on the daily for DraftKings. Nice run here. What's up, the power of bots? Glad to have you back. Autumn says, IPO check. What about Figma? She goes, whatever. How about Fly? FLY? Oh. People are learning how the IPOs normally go, I think, Autumn. Everybody always sees like 1 or 2 a year that explode, and then they try to buy all of them. How's Circle? Oh yeah, I already switched to it. Yeah, even they're pulling back a little bit. Overall, Circle had a great move, though. Fantastic by Circle, actually. Eyeing CoreWeave at 100, trying to hold. I forgot about them. I forgot about that IPO. That was one of the better ones. Yeah, they are right at $100 here. I'm not super confident that they're gonna hold. I'm not loving it, CoreWeave. Check FLY again, down 1.48%. I know this one was one of the more recent IPOs. Started trading around like 65 or something, and is at 46 now today. Pretty big drop in the first initial days by them. Yeah, it's one of the good ones, isn't it, Autumn? You said CoreWeave at 100, though. It really likes this range, like 95 it bounced at recently. I know 100, it previously bounced there, too. Last time it bounced off 100, it actually bounced all the way up to 155, which would be a nice 50% gain there. Oh, you can't wait for the meeting, I see. Ooh. Those are called the beeps of death, I think I'm gonna name those. It says it's at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, that would be like 11 your time, right? No, maybe even less. 10 your time, I don't know. See you later, Demure. Have a great one. Thanks for joining up, though. Oh, man. Sorry if the stream's messing up a little bit, guys. Looks like there was a bit of an issue there. My beeps killed it. Hey, you know how you guys said that it's Morse code? Apparently, like, it actually is Morse code. Funny enough. It's like some type of beeping code, and the amount of beeps is supposed to tell you exactly, like, how messed up the problem is. It's kind of weird. You think Nvidia could go up to 184 plus? Nvidia. Yeah. I think it's possible. I could see it getting close to 184, if not even testing it, yeah. That's a good jump today by Nvidia. 1.3%, actually really solid. How's Advanced Money Dispenser? That'd be terrible if it did that. Imagine it just like caught on fire or something, Mason. That'd be terrible. Spy needs to decide on a direction, Autumn said. Looks like it's doing pretty well to the upside so far today. You're right, though. Every time it makes a new high or low of the day, something happens. Look at it go, though. I mean, that's quite the run there by Spy here. 4 really good 1-minute candles in a row. Great jump. Tom, how do you feel about Microsoft to the downside? Check out the 1 month. Microsoft down, looking at the monthly. When you say looking at the 1 month, like literally each candlestick is 1 month, or what exactly do you mean by that? I think I got you, though. Like a 4-hour chart? Okay. It's a bit of a weird setup to me right now with Microsoft. Let me just go to the daily. I find this to be kind of a strange setup going on. It seems weird in how Microsoft jumped up recently, but what's been going on is that it's been filling this gap and consolidating. And I've seen a lot of times where stocks will do this exact setup, fill the gap and consolidate, but then explode back up. Now, I'm not saying that Microsoft has to explode back up here, but I personally am a little bit skeptical that once it starts to fill the gap and, you know, hold here some more, that it starts to try and recover back a bit. Now, I'll say this, if we start to really flush under like this range here, if we flushed like under this range, then I think there could be some awesome opportunities down with Microsoft. But I will say I think that this range definitely needs to give out first before I look at it. It has held here already, tried to one time, but we'll see if it holds again or not. I do gotta say though, Microsoft is very overextended. It is very overextended to the upside. So I don't blame you for looking down. Trust me, I not at all. It makes sense to look for what you're looking for, but I do think that just making it break first could be a better way to go, unless maybe you eye up a resistance and then you're entering more close to that. But I don't know, I'd hate to see you buy stuff on support and then like puts on support or something, and then the stock runs back up for a few days and, you know, stops you out or something. It does seem to be selling off pretty good today. I gotta give it that. On an intraday basis today, it looks terrible. It looks like it's gonna keep flushing. Sir Charles asked for is it a bear flag? It could be one of those. I don't really see that myself here off of that setup. Why does it not rise last Friday early then? I bought call options last Friday. Now my put options is losing money. Man, Hugo, SPY just turned over out of nowhere. Whoa, SPY. That's insane. All the up and down action there. Damn. You were right, whoever earlier said now the SPY better actually move. It didn't. Right back into the channel. I'm not seeing any news at the moment, so it could just be normal turnovers here. SPY has turned over a lot this morning already. Note where the arrow's pointing now. I'm not saying that these aren't overly accelerated. They seem pretty accelerated to me, but I guess if you think about it, it's just a 1-point drop. It's just when you zoom in, it looks bad. Really bad, but not as bad as it could be. Wex says, Tom, do you have a favorite trend line, EMA or SMA for riding trends when you get a direction correct? I normally just use trends that you draw out, Weck. I don't use SMAs or EMAs or anything like that anymore, although I used to. And I do think that those could help you, especially if you're someone that doesn't know like where to take profit or something. You know, like let's say you're riding the 50 EMA up, and then once the 50 EMA breaks, you take profit, right? Or you cut or whatever. You know, I think that that can help people in some scenarios, maybe start to establish a good strategy. But I personally just use drawn trend lines and then just eye up like the overall trend. Kind of like with Tesla here. Like you go to like a daily, you know, I'll just draw mine out like this. No problem, Weck. I hope that helps. That's a really good question, Ryan. I wish that it was one that had an exact answer, but like a lot of things in the stock market, you know, and I hate saying this, but it depends. It really depends. It depends on how quick the stock moves, in my book. You know, you can look at some options, Greeks and stuff like that, but really, I mean, you can just kind of like look at a stock and go, okay, like something like Walmart is probably not going to move like something like Wolf, right? So there's a few different things you got to think about, of course. Number one probably being, how much does the stock move, right? What is the average percent rise? What's the average percent drop? You know, we have those stats on the StockedUp algo in the bottom right. Like on Wolf, the average percent rise is 6.13%. The average percent fall is 4.6%. So with that being said, you know, if you were to sell covered calls, and like, let's just say I told you that $3 out of the money expiring that week was perfect. You would go to Wolf and be like, okay, $3 out of the money. So that would be 13. You know, maybe that would be perfect here, but maybe Wolf moves so much that it goes up to, you know, 25 or something by then, right? I know it's weird to say that, but it can happen, right? And the same thing could also be said, like, look, what if you're trading AMD? It's $175. You know, if we said something had, you know, $3 was a good number, $3 might be great on Intel, which is a $20 stock, but not good on Tesla, which is $330, where a $3 move would be like nothing. So it's you know, you got to look at each stock and look at that. I really personally almost always only use support and resistance. Now, maybe that's an answer that some people might like, some people might not like it, but I'm someone that sells them at resistance. You know, I try to look at, okay, Tesla's rejected here at 360 like 3 times. You know, if I'm going to be picking a strike to sell at, it's probably not going to be like something like 340, like right at the money, right? I'm probably going to go up to like a huge major resistance, like $360. Let's say that you're looking at something like DraftKings, right? One that I sell covered calls on quite a bit. Like, it's pretty easy to like establish an overhead zone where the stock normally rejects. So then you sell the covered calls like at the peaks of those overhead zones. Like in this case, $49 and $50. Huge. It's pretty rare that it would hold above 50. It hasn't for 2 straight years at least, so maybe one scenario. Yeah, there was one time you might have gotten screwed on this one, but even at that, I wouldn't even call it screwed. It would just be that you sold shares at 50 and collected premium. And then you could have literally bought in on the next dip, but you get the point. You see. Sounds good, Ryan. Yeah. It was a good question, though, because it's not a question that has, like, an exact answer. It depends, like, from stock to stock, but I would say most of the time, resistance is the name of the game. Oh, we got the Hellcat song on. 334 Tesla resistance. There we go. The cats crack you up. Juan has big bullish energy. We're just so bullish. My bullish energy is going crazy. Bitcoin down to like 115,000? Yeah, it's been a minute since I looked at Bitcoin. Yeah, pulling back slightly. Still looks pretty good on the daily, I'll say. Fairly close to the high overall, even though it is pulling back in a pretty good way. Last night, I got some late night McDonald's. I had to run out and get my daughter some milk. And I grabbed one of those spicy snack wraps and some McNuggets while I was out there. Had to say it because we're always going there, you know. Hell, I think I had it 3 times over the weekend. $3.10. What a level on Mickey D's. Autumn goes, how's Yum? Oh my God, Autumn. I thought there'd be no shot it did it again today. No shot, and it got it done. That's funny. No way. How many green candles are we gonna get in a row off these potatoes? Juan says, I'm cool at 3 times a week, but not 3 times in a weekend. Yeah. The market's wild now, Autumn says. Very wild. That's so good. What a good support hold. Man. Man, Autumn. Autumn, you might want to be looking at taking some profits soon. If they bring back the full-sized McWraps, it would be amazing. I'd be happy with it. I'd be very happy with it. Chase has been eating burrito tacos every day. Oh, those sound really good, Chase. I'm hungry, so now you guys are going to hear all about food. No, I'm just kidding. It's because we looked at McDonald's stock and Yum. What does Yum own again? KFC and Taco Bell, I think? KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and the Habit Burger Grill. A&W as well. Long John Silver's. I want some Long John Silver's. I googled Yum brands and I'm just out here looking at pictures and it shows me a picture that says which stock should you buy? McDonald's versus Yum brands. Kind of funny. Yahoo Finance. All right, let's see how that SPY is doing off that support. Oh, wow, it bounced again. Surprise, surprise. Zelensky says that it would be impossible to give up territory to Russia. Uh-oh. Trump said that Russia wants Crimea, apparently. Zelensky says that it'd be impossible for them to give up territory. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to end the war, he's gonna have to give it up. But I don't know that they're gonna do that. It's a weird situation out there. Ooh, we just started getting Freddy's around St. Louis, Autumn. But I'm sure you know Steak and Shake's been around forever. Actually, you know what? A lot of the Steak and Shakes have actually closed recently. A whole bunch did. Kind of a rip, yeah. The ones by Mason closed? Oh, man. No, I didn't see that, Chase. That's probably because they're secretly friends. I'm gonna try a habit salad for lunch. Your Freddy's closed. What? Wax says, let's get an IPO on Freddy's. Yes, I'd be down. It does seem pretty fire. I always like, you guys ever get the California from Freddy's? California's fire. Shake Shack? I like the burgers, don't get me wrong. I've only had it like once, though. Dang, Mason, everything's closing by you. Oh yeah, I love it, Wack. They also have a bacon one that I like quite a bit, too. But I like that California. Hard to beat. With that, it's got like a full slice of onion on it. Please tell me you still have Five Guys, though, Mason. I know you gotta have Five Guys. You know, we have a place called that, too. I wonder if it's a big place, Mason. Oh, wow, they have a bunch of locations. I didn't know that. Apparently, they're not even in Missouri, but I swear there's one around here called something like that. I feel like there's so many smash burger restaurants out there nowadays, isn't there? $172 on Palantir. Trying to hold this lower support range. Attempting a hold.
Everything changes.
Oh no, Spy just turned over again. Haha, here we go. It might finally be actually breaking down today. I don't think the market's liking the Ukraine updates here. I got a feeling. Yeah, it does seem pretty choppy right now. Ooh, how's Oxy? Ooh. I keep telling everybody the oil plays are just a big gamble right now with everything going on. All right. Time to run. Have a great one. Sounds good, David. Do any of us eat? Why is everyone here always so hungry in the morning? We're here for the stocks, Autumn, not the food. That's funny. It's weird. I never feel like eating before the stream, and I swear to God, like an hour in, then I'm starving. Every time. Speaking of that, let's go back to Yum one more time. Autumn, isn't Yum getting close to a big level? 150. That's a big resistance here, Yum. Ooh, it touched 150 and dropped, Autumn. Be a little careful. Tesla 334 resistance. Rejected back down. SPY, oh my God, straight back up after those red candles. Straight back up. Literally a heartbeat monitor today. Insane to me. A great recovery here with SPY. 643 resistance looking solid. Tesla consolidating like crazy right now. Right in the middle of the zone. Nvidia was one that was hot earlier, but has given back all of the gains over the past 30 minutes or so. Literally just gave it all back. Almost. Advanced money dispenser gave it back, and then some. Falling off down into the red, actually, a bit. Applied Digital with a nice move. Terra Wolf. Pulling back, actually getting close to a big support. They might even try to find a bounce here today. Pretty big support for Wolf. I am. It's on my watch list. There's still no way potato wedges keep it going. But they launched today nationwide, so maybe that's why it's still going up. So wild. Autumn said, Chase, are you from Chicago? I am from STL, and I love Chicago. Obsessed. I've only been there once, Autumn. I'll say it was nice. The part that I was at was nice. Chase gets in fights with people who badmouth Chicago. You mean the people who badmouth Chirac? What do you mean? What the hell is a Chicago? Annual meetup at Mason's house. Jake says, I'm near Chicago. I avoid it. Autumn says, I would live there if it weren't for winter being so brutal. And you're safe there as long as you are not dumb. Yeah, just don't step anywhere into this actual city and you'll be okay. Jay said, I mean, I'm probably not going to a Culver's in Garfield Park at 2 a.m., but otherwise it's a great city. That's funny. Whoa, Autumn prefers St. Louis style pizza? I don't even prefer that. What's up, Xbox? How have you been? Yeah, pretty good, man. Hopefully you can say the same. Glad to have you here today. You eyeing up any stocks here in the short term? Oh, yeah, Lou Malnati's won. Let's go. I swear I'm gonna buy some pizzas and have them shipped to me again. Michael says, you're probably all over those ribs, though, huh, Tom? You know what? Not as much as you'd think, actually. Not as much as you'd think. I like making my own ribs. I generally don't buy them, though.
This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Bogarts is my favorite. CGC up 6.5% here, trying to move a little bit. Charge Point attempting. That's a good run by them, 5.7%. Charge Point Holdings, NMAX, 5.49%.
With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
All right. We're probably going to call it here, guys. I appreciate everybody joining up today. Watch some of these volatile stocks out here. Got some back-end stuff to take care of here today. $11 green 1-minute candles. On Meta? Oh, wow, yeah. They're not as explosive as I would have liked on them, but they are all green in a row at least. That's good.
Connect the dots straight to the start of intoxicating warmth.
That's a lot of recovery. If they could break back above 760, 750 to 768, they might come back up to like 772. Would be nice to see there. Run at 6.65% is awesome.